Hi all, back again with another review. So today what I'm going to be reviewing is another Lima model. It is a Lima class 121 in the Marston Vale livery. I quite like these little DMUs. I think they're really cool, and I particularly like this livery. I think it's really nice. So yeah, I thought I'd do a little review, a little unboxing, walk you through the model, and then what I'm going to be doing as well is I'm going to be upgrading it with DCC conversion and then also a full lighting kit. So it's going to get front and rear head and tail lights, and it's also going to get a carriage lighting, so interior lights. That's the plan. So I'll talk a little bit more about the DCC and lighting upgrade in a little bit, but first we're going to do a little unboxing and just have a look at the model. So yeah, get on with that. So as you can see here, it's just a standard, anyone who knows Lima, just a standard Lima box. Yeah, Lima collection, Lima models. So as I said, the one we're going to be reviewing today is the L204912. It is a class 121 in Marston Vale livery, and it says number 29 there because that's the running number. It is 55029. Sorry about the little bit of dirt on the packaging, just from being in storage from where I got it from. So this side just has Lima, nothing there. The back of the box is Lima again. Some of the little safety warnings. Box is recyclable, made in Italy, not for 3-year-olds. And then also this was just another safety thing, not under 36 months, small pieces, blah blah blah. So Lima again. This end just has Lima, and that side just has Lima. So very simple box. Inside is polystyrene again. Decent protection from the sides and the back, but the front again, Lima, very thin piece of plastic there. Won't really offer any protection really. Very minimal. Yeah, so I'll get that out. Here we go. So I'll set the box aside. Here we go. So nice polystyrene insert. A little bit loose inside it, not a massively snug fit. You can see there's quite a bit of a gap there, but it does the job. So yeah, I think this is no there's no hole at the back to push it through, which is a shame. I like them as a little hole, to push it through. But also has a little stuff with it, so don't miss the train. Remember these used to sign up, sign up for their newsletter and that, rather than before the internet and getting emails. So that's cool to have there. No other documentation with it. I'm not 100% sure if when it was brand new, if it would have had a little leaflet with it. It probably did at some point, but it's long gone. But I still have that, so that's kind of a cool little memento. So there we go. Here's the model. Really nice. Paint on it's really good finish. Little private little stickers there. Guards compartment. Little detail there. It says, you can't really see it on the camera, but it says warning pressurized system for coolant. So a little coolant. And yeah, running number and private. I'll show you the roof detail. Decent amount of detail on the roof. Little thing, all the vents and everything. Paint is really nice. The finish is lovely. Nice and crisp. So there's the one end of it with the exhaust pipes. And 121029. See, not fixed buffers, they're not sprung, but they're there. And then the underside, Lima, Italy. You have your drive bogie, just a normal Lima pancake motor with traction tires on one side and the pickups on the other. A couple of tanks, too bad, and then you have your other bogie there with the fixed couplers. They're not NEM couplers or anything fancy, just standard D couplers. Just grand. I think they don't look amazing, but I find they just run. They don't disconnect when you're using the train, and I don't have any issues with them besides them looking a bit chunky, but I don't mind. And then nice little detail along there, all molded. As far as I can tell, there's no separately fitted parts besides the exhaust pipes. The wipers are integrated in the glazing. Yeah, and then there's the other end with no exhaust pipes. So yeah, and that side as well. Yeah, so nice model, you know. Nice amount, like enough detail in that. But yeah, that's kind of the locomotive. Or the DMU, is it called the DMU? Even though there's only one unit, it's not really a multiple unit. Not too sure. Diesel. Yeah, so that's it. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to gather all the stuff I'll need, and I'll show you what I'm going to use to DCC convert it and put the lighting in. I have ran this on DC around the circuit, and it runs grand. It does work. There's no lighting. There is lenses, but there is no lighting, and unlike the Hornby ones, I did a Hornby one. Hornby painted over the lenses, whereas at least Lima haven't, so I don't have to go and scrape the paint off the lens, which is handy. But yeah, so I'll show you what I'm going to use to convert it to DCC and lighting. So I've got together what I'm going to use to convert this to DCC and use the lighting kit. So I'm going to put a socket into it. So I have one of these Gauge Master medium sockets. It's just an 8-pin socket. Used them before. They work well. You just solder your wires onto the back, into whatever wire corresponds. There are charts online that you can see. It's just a socket, nice and simple. Yeah, so I'll use one of them. Just a Hornby 4-function 8-pin decoder. They're cheap and easy to get where I live, and they work well for me. So now the main thing for this is the lighting kit. So I bought this lighting kit off eBay from Black Cat Technology. I'll put a link down in the description of where to get it. So what you get is, this is the full kit. So you get head and tail lights. So there's 2 boards. This is one of the boards. So yeah, if it'll focus, there we go. You might notice there's 117 on it. It is a 121 logo. He does kits for the 117 class as well, but the 121 has one cab end is the same as the 121, so you get one of these. You can see there's 2 LEDs there, and it does red and white as well, so you get forward and reverse lights. So 3 solder points, so you have your forward, reverse and your common, and then you can see they're made by the come on, oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. You see, Black Cat Technology, which is cool. And then there's the other end. As you can see, it's a little bit bigger. Yeah, C121, and you have your lights on it as well. And again, you have your 3 solder points. You have A, B, and C for your forward, reverse, and common. And there's the back. So really nice, really good piece of kit. I have done one of these before, and it works really well. Really happy with it. And then you have your bigger board, which is for the carriage lighting. So as you can see, there we go. You have your 2 solder points on one end. It has a little capacitor in there as well, and then all the circuitry. And one thing I love about it is you can see this bit here, this little thing here is like a little dial, so you can actually adjust the brightness, which I think is really cool. So it comes with, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 LEDs along it, and then there's the 2 holes there. You can see like 1, 2, 1, depending, because it'll stay focused. Yeah. Yeah, different holes depending on the different model. So yeah, really cool, really nicely made. Yeah, and then in the kit you also get a bag of wires, and then little plugs for you can solder it into the little plug there, so that you can take the body shell off and just disconnect the wire from the rest of the body, so you can take the body shell off. So it's really cool. there's their little card, yeah, which is cool. Yeah, oh yeah, there's their little, all their information. So yeah, and then that's for everyone. So yeah, and then you get your instructions, which is really cool. You know, I like when like people do that. They actually put proper instructions with things. They don't just go, oh, link to my website. They actually put in like physical instructions, and there's a little picture there to show you. Because you actually have to cut a bit of the body for the lights to shine through. So it shows you exactly what to do. And then yeah, it's DC and DCC as well. So yeah, it's really cool. And that's it. So, and then you also just have some wire here. So a box of different coloured 30 gauge wire that's silicone coated, so really easy to use. And then you'll also need things like snips and maybe a craft knife to cut away the body bit, and then a soldering iron as well, which is also helpful. And that's it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tidy this up, and we'll get the body shell off the loco, and yeah. So let's get the body shell off. On these older Lima locos, there's 2 little screws underneath, so we'll start by removing them. There's 2 screws out, and then there should be a couple of little body clips. So I have a couple of spudgers. There we go. That's how you do it. So yeah, you just push a little bit in at the end, and then it pops out. See the little clip there? Figure that out, and then lift it out gently, because the exhaust pipes kind of go over the end, so you don't want to do it from the other end. So be careful not to pull them off. So there's one body shell, some blue on the inside. You have the glazing at either end. Yeah, that's really it. Nothing too fancy. Put that aside nice and gently. And now we have the inside of the loco. So we have one end, we have our motor, just a nice normal Lima pancake motor. You have, well, you know, left and right, and that's it. So what we'll do is, now the only annoying thing about this one is there's not going to be a lot of room to hide. Like the guards compartment is quite small, so there's not going to be a lot of room to hide the decoder and wiring and all that to make it look pretty. So we'll do our best. There is this little, like, nice little divider there, so hopefully we'll be able to hide it all in behind there. And yeah, you're gonna see it through the window though, but look, we'll do our best. And then what I might do is see if I can hide that wire underneath the seats, and then you have a little cab up the end. I'll see if I have a little driver to put in there. Yeah, no cab down that end though, because the motor's in the way. But oh well. Yeah, so that's it apart. So, and then what we can do is, I won't be able to take the seats out. These little dividers come out. And that one has the windows in it, so they come out. And then this one up here needs to pop out as well. So, little clip there. So we're just gonna gently prise that out. There we go. So that's the front one out. Yeah, I won't be able to take the seats out because the wire, I'll have to unsolder the wire. You can actually see where the factory melted the plastic ever so slightly when they were soldering it in. So yeah, interesting that they didn't just put the wire underneath the seats, like, don't know why. But anyway, yep, so what I'm going to do now is get my soldering iron out, and I'm going to unsolder these wires, and then we'll I'll solder in the socket, and then I'll be back to show you what I did. Okay, so you can see now I have the train all wired up. Looks a bit of a mess because I haven't tidied it up yet, but it all just tested, all works, all the lights work, everything's all good. So I just thought I'd give you a little demonstration while I have it on the little tiny programming track. I have switched it to actual track because I won't work on programming track, but yeah, I just thought I'd give you a demonstration of the different lights and it working. So this is what it looks like underneath. So we have our front, so that'll be the front of the train, that's where the cab is. So imagine the interior goes like that, so we have our cab. So at the front, back lights, and then we have the interior lights, which will go inside which will get stuck to the top of the body shell. There is the little connector there. You can probably just about see it that I have, so it comes the kit you can pop. So if you take the body shell off, you're not completely connected. Yeah, so we have our chip here, our socket here. The tricky bit now will be kind of tidying it away inside. So you do have a little bit of like cover there, but what I'll probably end up doing is just putting some like white electrical tape on these two windows, and the same on the other side, just to make it look like they're frosted. I think that'll look better than looking straight through and seeing the motor and all the wires and everything. I won't be able to do anything about that end because I don't want to frost the windscreens, but yeah, I'll do my best to make it look tidy. Yeah, so what I'm going to do now is I'll show you the lights. I'm actually going to turn off my like photography lights just to, yeah, that's much better. So we have our directional lighting, so you can see there's our front with the white and the back with our red, and then if we change directions they swap. So now we have red and we have white, so they work lovely. Yeah, and then the top lights are the interior lighting, so they're on now. You can just about barely see them because remember before I was saying these are adjustable, so I have it on the minimum adjustment. So what I'm going to use is a tiny little screwdriver, preferably with a plastic handle just in case I don't want to do anything damage. So there's a little what I'll do is I'll zoom in a little bit. Yeah, there we go, perfect. So yeah, there's a little adjuster, so if you stick it in, I have it on the minimum so you can see as I just go up, and you can see they're getting brighter and brighter. Yeah, there we go. Brighter. And there we go. And now they're at full brightness. And you can see there's quite a difference. Like there's quite a range from like right down to full brightness. So very nice kit. Like very impressed. I'd love if they make more for for more different locos and DMUs and stuff like that. I have old Hornby 156 class, I think. I'd love an interior lighting kit for that, and then I have a Bachmann 158 class as well. So, but anyway, this is great for now. Yeah, so that's kind of just showing off the lighting functions. Yeah, and I have this one hooked up to the green wire on the decoder, which is like the extra function, and it comes on as function 1. So there we go, they're back off now, and then function 0 is the directional lighting. So yeah, great kit, fantastically made, really good quality. Yeah, can't really complain. What I did do, which you have to do to modify the chassis a little bit, is you see here I just had to cut 2 notches in the chassis. Now you don't see that when the body shell's on because the body shell covers that, and it doesn't really affect this. If I try and take out the least amount of plastic so it doesn't affect like the clip, so the structure. And the way I do it is I just use a sharp craft knife, because what I did was before I wired it up, I just blue tacked the board to, that's where the board will sit on the cab end. Just blue tacked it there, got it centered, slotted the thing back in, and kind of saw where the LEDs sat and kind of marked each side, and then just cut straight down with a craft knife all the way to the bottom, and then got a pair of pliers and just kind of eased the plastic back and forth, and it just snaps straight off. And then the same at the other end. The other end's a little trickier because the clip is slightly different, so you just got to be really careful you don't break the whole plastic. But yeah, that's what you have to do, because if you don't do that, then the light, it'll block the light going through the lenses in the cab and that. So, and I said the Lima one is grand because they didn't paint over the lenses. I did this on a Hornby one in the Coca-Cola livery, and they had painted yellow over the lenses, so I had to pop out the windscreen and kind of take the paint off, which was just an extra step. But yep, that's it. Yeah, so I'll put it all back together, tidy it up, and then we'll do a little running session. So I just thought I'd do one more little thing. It's to do with light bleed. So these models were never designed with lighting in mind. So how bad is the light bleed? Well, this is a Hornby one which I did previously. It's a much more modern version. It's in the Coca-Cola livery, and unfortunately it suffers really bad from light bleed. Now I don't know whether that's all of the Hornby versions or whether it's just this particular livery, but the plastic does feel much, I suppose, cheaper than the Lima one. The Lima one feels solid when you take it apart, whereas the Hornby plastic's much softer. It's got a bit of give in it, whereas the Lima one is solid. So my guess is that all Hornby ones are going to be like this. The newer ones anyway. This was only released a year or two ago. So as you can see, the headlights there, that's supposed to be a yellow front. You can see there's quite a lot of light bleed there, and then on the side as well with the passenger compartments, you can just about see it. It's worse in real life, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to take that one apart, and I'll probably end up putting like black electrical tape or painting the inside just to make it a bit thicker to stop the light bleed, because it is pretty bad. But the Lima one, no light bleed. Like, as I said, the plastic feels much more, it's just more solid, so it's probably a bit thicker, and then I suppose the paint as well is probably thicker as well. The only bit of light bleed you get is you can probably just about see it at the bottom of the windscreen there, because the windscreen and the lens is a one piece of clear plastic, so there's no real way of stopping it from, the light travelling up to the bottom of the windscreen, unless you were to, like, I don't know, cut that into two bits and then put a bit of black paint on the ends to stop that, which I might do in the future, but for the moment it's fine. Yeah, I'll just show you the Hornby one when it swaps direction as well. So yeah, you can see it's still pretty bad with the red lights. It's like the plastic is very thin, very see-through, so I'm gonna have to do a bit of work to that. But the Lima one's fine, no light bleed at all really. So there you go, just a little bit of a hint. If you have one of these models, want to use the kit. Lima one, you're probably fine for light bleed. Hornby one, you're probably going to get a bit of light bleed and may have to do additional work like painting the inside or electrical tape or something. So there we are. A successful DCC conversion and lighting upgrade to this lovely old Lima 121 class. Runs beautifully, as you saw from the slow speed running. It crawls along incredibly slow. It actually runs slower than a lot of my more modern locomotives, so runs really well. It's a bit noisy, but then again, that's the type of the motor. It's not very smooth, like the motor's kind of vibratey, but that's just what they do. As you can see, it kind of vibrating along the track a little bit. It's a slight bit wobbly. But that's just the motor kind of not being super smooth, whereas the modern ones like A42 beside it there has twin flywheels and a 5-pole skew wound motor and metal gearboxes and all that, so it's much smoother, whereas this is all plastic gears, and I think it has 3-pole motor. I think that's what the little pancake motors are, but yeah, nowhere near as smooth or as quiet. But still, for the age, running beautifully, runs perfectly. It's a pleasure to run on the layout, doesn't cut out over my points. They're Hornby points, so they're notoriously not the best. But yeah, there we go. I also, as you saw, stuck some passengers in and a little driver, so it looks really good, and I'm very happy with it. So yeah, thanks for watching, and keep an eye out for more videos.